Alright, how's it going? I'm going to try to keep this short. I got my notes with me here. Try to keep this short to the point. It's a really nice day outside. I want to go outside and take a walk because it's freaking awesome. But, yeah, I'm going to forewarn you. Okay, so I know Kathleen Kennedy has a big secret that she doesn't want anybody to know, but it is plastered in front of the entire world to see. She just doesn't realize it. But I'm going to forewarn you up front that it's very awkward and it's very fucking weird. But, yeah, let's get on with this. And how I know she has a secret. Okay, the subconscious is an extremely powerful thing. It's, man, those birds are chirping today. But we're dominated by our subconscious. If there's something we want and want to go after, there's so many clues and things that we put off that we don't even realize we're doing. I know these things. I study these things. And I catch myself doing it because the subconscious is so powerful. I'll be like, oh my God, this is subconscious because I know I want such and such or whatever. So I catch myself doing it even though I studied it and know it. But most people don't realize this and they give off so many clues. And especially like with women, like most of the time, most people think that men make the first move. No, about 80% of the time it's the woman who makes the first moves, but they have so many subconscious and they're so good at interactions and stuff like that. Like women have 2 to 3 times more body language cues than actually men do, and they're able to read these cues more. So like when a woman is attracted to a man, what they actually do is they give off clues and signals for the guy to come over and talk to them. Like and then when the guy catches on to this, he actually goes over and says something. So he thinks he made the first move, but women are so clever, they actually give off the subconscious clues for the dude to think he made the first move. And I'm not making this stuff up. This is research that I've studied, and you could go check it out yourself. But you'll see why I'm bringing this subject up later. It's very important for what we're about to go over, and y'all will catch on really fast. Okay, but if you want a instead of me going over this shit again, if y'all want to get up to date on Kathleen Kennedy's rise to power, the Drinker just did a awesome video about it, which I'm going to link in the description. It's like a couple minutes long, so y'all can understand exactly her rise to power. Basically, she's a glorified secretary, and that's it. She's a secretary. She's been a secretary to Steven Spielberg and rubbed shoulders with George Lucas her entire career, and that's how she basically had the entire Lucas thing, Star Wars, handed to her without doing shit to get it. And this is the woman who's in charge of Star Wars. The reason this is important is it's very obvious and everybody knows that she is a micromanager. That this entire project she's running, it was her idea to bring the Emperor back. And the clones of the clones and the clones is just fucking the dumbest thing ever. And we could tell by just, you know, how she handles things. She fires directors constantly and stuff like that. Why? Because they're disagreeing with her. This entire thing has been her project. She tells them what to do, and then they have to write around exactly what she wants. So this entire trilogy is her. It's about her. Her subconscious is blasted all over this entire fucking thing. Even Rey is a symbolism of her, and this is very important. Because how did she rise to power? She she basically was a secretary for Steven Spielberg and Lucas. And what did she do? She's getting handed all this power, and she doesn't have to do a fucking thing for it. It's just basically handed to her, and she didn't do anything to fucking earn it. What is Rey's story? She comes into the Force, everything's handed to her. She takes over she learns everything without having to fucking go through any growing pains at all. It's all fucking handed to her, and then she takes the Skywalker name. You see the symbolism there? The subconscious is powerful. Rey is a symbol of Kathleen Kennedy. And this is important because there's more symbolism of Kathleen Kennedy in these movies. But, so So let's get this straight. Her rise to power was with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, right? She runs this entire fucking Star Wars thing. And it's fucking weird, awkward, doesn't make sense. She basically tells the directors what she wants, how the movies are supposed to be. Okay, we got this? But one key thing that we're missing is in her rise to power, there's somebody else that she was rubbing shoulders with the entire time on her rise to power. And because this picture right here is her on the set of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And who's also there at the same time in his prime? Harrison Ford, right? Kathleen Kennedy's big secret, and Harrison Ford has been the star of basically Steven Spielberg and Lucas movies for like fucking ever, right? Kathleen Kennedy's big secret is she has a crush on Harrison Ford. And all these fucking movies are a big, awkward love letter to Harrison Ford. So let's get this straight real quick. This awkward little secretary girl is around this stud muffin about all her life, has a huge crush on her, and has a huge crush on him, then finally gets in a position of power. And what does she do with her position of power? Shall we go over this quickly? Okay, so did you guys know that it was Harrison Ford's idea that Han Solo would die? He said he wouldn't come back unless his character was completely done. What does Kathleen Kennedy do? Whatever you want, Harry. And then on top of that, you notice how Han Solo wasn't allowed around Princess Leia in the first movie. Like, hardly at all. Maybe a little bit jealous, are we, Kathleen? Ugh. Oh, but... And also, this is why she hates Luke Skywalker, because it takes the focus off of her man. How pathetic is that? Okay, in the second movie, it gets even fucking better. In the second movie is when I figured this shit out. It's like, oh my god. Okay, so here we go, another symbolism, right? Okay, this purple-haired, dumb, fucking whatever the hell it is, how does she get in her position of power? Somebody else dies, and she takes over all the power. Sound familiar? On top of that, the woman looks like Kathleen Kennedy. It could pass as her fucking sister, right? Also, somebody else from her past, from what, the same woman Steven Spielberg did the fucking Jurassic Parks, but whatever. So, and then Poe. Poe is definitely a symbol of Han Solo. He's just a pathetic version of Han Solo. It's obvious, right? So you got the symbolism of Kathleen Kennedy, and then you got the symbolism of Poe, right? What is the entire second movie basically about? It's about this woman trying to tame Poe. It's so fucking weird. The entire thing, she's trying to get him under control and tame him. And when you really catch on to it is that fucking awkward scene where they're like, where her and Leia are like, I like him. Yeah, I like him too. Fucking lame. But she also has Princess Leia angry at the guy most of the movie. It's so fucking stupid. And it gets even worse. And get the symbolism of this. She tries to tame him the entire thing, then sends him off and sacrifices her life to save him. You know what that is? It's Kathleen Kennedy subconscious screaming that she knows her and Harrison will never be together. And trust me, in that movie, there's even more awkward sacrifices with awkward love, kisses, and stupid fucking bullshit through it. And this is what this is. I told you guys at the beginning, this is going to be awkward and fucking weird. But then let's go into the third movie. Because now we have the symbolism, raise the symbolism of Kathleen Kennedy. And then you got Kylo, Han Solo's son, who is now the new symbolism of Han. And what happens? They have a fucking awkward kicks. There's a sacrifice showing they can't be together. And then this woman takes on the Skywalker name. All this is a subconscious love letter from an awkward fucking Kathleen Kennedy, all that fucking talk about the Force is female and shit like that, it's fucking bullshit. All she is an awkward girl who has a crush on bad boys, and all she wants to do is try to control him and tame him. That's what the whole fucking movie was, just plastered in front of the entire fucking world to see, is an awkward love letter from this stupid girl fucking woman to this dude. That's what it is. And all that shit talk about fucking Force of Female, and it's a girl who just loves the bad boy. That's it. And she just wants to tame him. And she also, when I say loves the bad boy, she also likes Darth Maul. Okay, Darth Maul comes in episode 1, basically single-handedly keeps the entire movie from being a complete flush down the fucking toilet, because he's dark, he's mysterious, he's cool, he's fucking badass. We're all like excited to think that we got 3 movies to unravel the mystery of this fucking dark badass character, but no, he's cut in half for no fucking reason, and we don't get nothing. Hello, Snook. It's the same fucking story, right? And then she brings Darth Maul back. In which movie? Han Solo. Why did we get a Han Solo movie? Think about it. And the reason she doesn't give a fuck about Star Wars anymore is because she's completely focused on her new movie, Indiana Jones 5. This is a secret that she would never tell anybody, but her subconscious plastered it in front of the entire fucking world, and nobody caught it except for me, and now you guys all get to have it. Now, Geeks and Gamers, John Talks, I don't know how much y'all could use this, because this is something she would never fucking admit, but I did want y'all to know this, because it's entertaining. But I do want to bring up this point. Bob Iger, you're a fucking idiot. You hired a secretary who had a crush on a dude to take over Star Wars, and you don't have enough balls. Wait a minute. Hold on, Bob. Let me check something. Bob, there's 2 round things I got between my legs. Holy shit, you should try that one fucking day. Have a pair of balls and fire that dumb bitch, because she's ruining your reputation too. Man, you're a fucking idiot. Man, you crack me up, because you won't fire her, but you want to go into politics against the guy who made a living of firing people?
You're fired. 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 Let's go.
Hello, Mr. Trump. It's an honor to meet you. I was wondering what you would say to President Obama.
You're fired.
Good luck with that, fucking idiot. God, you're an idiot too. Because if I was in your position, I would have done fired that bitch. I would have fucking said, okay, John Favreau, you're in charge now. Reboot the last movies. Yes, I said that. Reboot it. You want to know why? Because I got a pair of balls, and I know what to fucking do. And I'm also an artist and a creator, and I actually give a fuck about the content of what's being made. Unlike you fucking idiot, man. But yeah. Okay, and this is my message to, if this ever gets back to Kathleen Kennedy, and you get to see the face of the guy who actually told everybody what your dark secret is that you would never admit to, fuck you for ruining Star Wars because you had a crush. You stupid idiot. And let me explain something to you about bad boys. You can't control bad boys. There's nothing, you can't fucking do that. Either they like you or they don't. But here's the thing about bad boys. You try to control a bad boy, all you're going to do is piss him the fuck off. The only thing you can do with a bad boy is you can seduce him. You can seduce a bad boy. You maybe even be able to reason with a bad boy. And, but you can't control him. You try to control a bad boy, all you're going to do is piss him off. So, yeah. Jeremy, you're right. Raylos are weird, and fuck Naughty Dog, but now you know why they're so weird, why Raylers are so weird, because, I mean, that's what this whole fucking thing's about. Seriously, I want you guys to look at this and let it sink in for a minute. But you guys have fun with this information, and to the internet, fuck you assholes and bitches. Later.